Hi, Earth. My name is Tom Jacobs. I'm on the web at tdjacobs.com and also healingsuicide.com. My main site is tdjacobs.com. I've done some updates on processing grief over the years. It's been a long-term project for me, realizing I was full of stuff and then learning how to deal with it, full of grief stuff. And some of it was other people's stuff I needed to clear out. And a vast part of it was other life or past life stuff that's been buried. So anyway, so I've been in process with that for a number of years, hardcore for the last, I don't know, 5 years? No, 12 years since I met my partner. And then it got jacked up to like 5X what I've been doing in the previous 7 years. So it's been a long time, and I've had to work hard to remember that it's not the only thing that life is about, and it's been challenging. And so I've worked a lot on also helping other people be willing to deal with stuff, knowing they're not going to get lost in it, and developing tools and teachings and offering them to people to help them come out of it. The main inspiration for doing this video today is not so it's some long video like a real grief update, but as some in the past have been updates. But as part of my process with, and if you're not into astrology, don't worry about it, but transiting Saturn and Pisces, squaring my Sagittarius stellium, my Neptune, Mercury, Moon. Neptune, Mercury, Moon is a lot of how I channel and do energy work and access other realms, do mediumship, all kinds of stuff. And I noticed that Saturn was going to be squaring my Neptune. I didn't think about the whole stellium because whatever, not every astrologer is good at looking at their own charts and really anticipating things. But I looked at that and said, oh, so it's transiting Saturn is going to ask me, are you working hard enough? Are you structured? Are you employing discipline? Do you have a routine? Are you consistent? Are you being mature about this? And I was like, well, gosh, I've certainly been working hard at it, and I've been maturing about it. But I said, there isn't structure. So I said, what can I do? And I had the thought pretty quickly to spend more time with this ascended master called St Germain, who is one of the faces or one of the aspects, personalities of Hermes that a lot of people have heard of. I channel this being quite a lot, and through me, he often calls himself Jehuty, spelled Djehuty. So Hermes, Jehuty, St Germain, Thoth or Toth, and even Merlin, the mythologized Druidic high priest from those olden Arthurian times. And St Germain's role is to keep, sometimes I think people might say guard, the violet flame of forgiveness. And what St Germain does is offers you the opportunity to let go of sorrow, grief, etc., so you can forgive and let go and move on. So St Germain doesn't come in and open your heart, but St Germain comes in to sit with you, creates a container, and holds space so that you can essentially surrender to the letting go, surrender to a state or a moment of release and surrender and letting go of what you've held. So I said, okay, I'll work with that. And I sent out my guides, kind of bargaining. If I work a lot more with St. Germain and with other people, will it help me so I'm not as overwhelmed? It's like negotiating like a plea agreement or something, like a lesser sentence or something. And they're kind of not laughing at me, but kind of a little tongue in cheek. And they're like, well, actually, yes, as you help other people clear their grief, some of yours will escape with it or go with it. But they didn't say something I learned right after that. But of course, it makes sense now that I've had this experience. The more I do work with St. Germain and hold that space for release, the more I do that, the more I release. It just follows naturally. If you're familiar with Reiki energy work, universal life force energy, the practitioner receives, so to speak, a cut. Somebody I used to do trades with called it the agent's fee, the fee the agent you're running the energy to help other people, you get 10% of the benefit, so it's kind of like that. So I said, okay, great. Well, I'll sit here every day for a month and connect with St. Germain, and I use a programmed pink opal. Programmed means I put energy into certain stones, and I have a variety of them. And the one I was using every day for a month, well, it was almost every day. It was more like 5 days a week. And I've learned not to be rigid and judgmental, but I did it, a lot over that month, and then scheduled an event, which was a St Germain transmission for opening the heart. So I did that on May 6th. So the previous month I was like working super hard on relaxing and opening to let the grief come out, including a lot of crying, a lot of being upset, a lot of being suddenly overwhelmed by certain images or thoughts or memories. Anyway, here's the pink opal. Kind of can't see it. There you go. You can see it a little bit. And then I also have I have a stash. I have a stash where a bunch of them are unprogrammed that I'm going to be programming over the next couple of days. Hello, friends. That's what I say in the morning when I see them. Hello, friends. Anyway, that energy of St. Germain, that heart opening energy, I put into the stones. And so people buy the stones, whatever. So I did this prep for a month and did it almost every day. And I had limited, you don't know about this because I limited the how many people could sign up, because I didn't know what it would feel like if there were a bunch of people on the call. So I said it's limited to 11. It ended up being 12 for different reasons. And holding that space is not like doing energy work on people, which is kind of how I guess I'm so accustomed to doing Metatron style energy work on groups. And I try to limit those groups to 7 or 8 people in different contexts. Anyway, so this group of a dozen people, I just held the space, and St. Germain offered them the opportunity to relax into connecting with his energy through me and my voice. And it was great. A lot of people had these transformative experiences, and it was heart opening and warming, and it was amazing, expo living amazing. And I said, God, I want to do more of those. So the transiting Saturn square my Neptune is winning. Because as soon as I did this structured event that had consistent prep to it, I felt so amazing. I felt like the structure really helped me. Anyway, so I feel like I'm winning the Saturn transit a little bit. So the next one is focused on grief, resolving and releasing grief. And it takes place Sunday, July 23rd, 2023, from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Go to my blog to find the link to sign up. Now, also on my site, I'll put the links to that blog post, and also the link to the audio of the May 6th transmission. It's 90 minutes. And I encourage you to hear that, spend time with St. Germain, whether or not you get a programmed pink opal from me or not, a single one or a pair. It can be very helpful, and it can help you access St. Germain's energy whenever you want. But whether or not you have a stone or not, I just encourage you to get into the vibration of St. Germain. It will improve your life dramatically. I noticed after the first transmission on May 6th, I was less reactive. If you know me at all, or even if you've seen a bunch of my videos, you can tell that I have Mars and Uranus in the first house, and I can be a little bit reactive and volcanic and impatient sometimes. And I'm fiery and very passionate. There's other fire stuff in my chart too, but reactivity, like persistent loud noises, I react less often. Still, the fire alarm where I live goes off. I do kind of cover my ears and try to, lessen its effect as much as possible. But like a kid running down the hallway screaming, I don't react anymore. And it's since the May 6th transmission. I've done a lot of work on that. That's part of my grief thing, but I've had a definitive calm that started to come in and be more than 10 or 15% of the time and more. And so for several days, it felt amazing. But even for 4.5 or 5.5 hours following that event, I didn't have the grief. Like I didn't have this black cloud hanging over me, which I had solid for 5 years, and to a lesser degree for 12 years, the previous 7 also. So I haven't promoted that MP3 a lot, but I am here now. I want you to get that and go to well, I'll put the link to it. But then I want to offer you the opportunity to join me live for the grief resolving and releasing grief transmission. You don't have to do anything to prepare to listen to that in kind of MP3 or to attend such an event over Zoom, FYI, except be willing to essentially be humbled to find out you don't have to carry the pain any longer, that you don't need to define yourself by carrying that pain. No matter what face, Jehudi or St. Germain or Merlin, whatever face the being takes, one of the messages is you are not what has happened to you. But if we go through very painful, difficult circumstances and we don't know how to witness, hold space for, recover from grief, sorrow, loss, sadness, this kind of thing, we can be defined by it and get derailed every time it comes up. And that's what I'd been experiencing for the last like 12 years, 5 years. So being willing to let go is prep for the event. And also the 13-minute free grounding meditation, which I'll link to as well from the in the description of this video. So I'm encouraging you to join us for some transformational stuff regarding grief. A lot of people don't want to go into grief or other difficult shadow places within themselves because they don't know if they can come back. We fear getting lost in our deepest emotions. And I think this is one of the, or I think it's becoming really clear that this is one of the major functions that my work has in this life, is to teach people how to deal with their emotions. As I acrobatically contort myself into whatever postures I can to learn how to do it myself. And then share what works. So anyway, that is what these St. Germain transmissions are all about. And I'll just say this, most of the channeling from Ascended Master Jehudi, most of it is about ultimately getting us to the place where we're willing to open our hearts. And in the grounding meditation, even the 13-minute short meditation that I hand out to everyone for free, there is an element of, there's part of it is opening the heart and breathing out through the heart to like activate the heart center and the fourth chakra. And yet these St. Germain transmissions are very specifically the heart-based energy running through me as the channel reaches you wherever you are in the world, even on the audio later, and offers you the chance to relax and open to it. And it's transformative. It's not just, it might be hard to describe until you have a chance to experience it, but I can be kind to you if we talk, if we spend time around each other, or if you do a reading with me. I can be kind to you. You can be kind to me. But the way that I hold energy of this being is it's beyond just a positive energy. It's beyond some kind of platitude or validation or you are loved. It's an experience of this essential shape of the human emotional field where the logic is love. The logic is not through some channeling, dear humans, you are loved, we love you, these beings elsewhere, we see you in your trials. It's not that. It's a thorough blending of your consciousness with St. Germain, and then things get moved out when you choose to get rid of what doesn't serve you and what hurts you. And it's profound. is profound, which is why I'm doing this video as a kind of grief update. If you've been following the playlist on grief videos, these transmission events and MP3s are vitally important next steps. And if you come across the processing trauma and grief MP3s, which are put on as audio only videos on YouTube and they're free, I used to sell them, recorded in 2014, and I used to have them for sale. And then around the start of the pandemic, I put them online for free because I wanted more people to have the experience, you know, of having that support of processing through with these energy work MP3s. Those are 60 minutes each, and those are valuable. Those are more about exploring and unlocking and processing and changing our minds about what we do and don't deserve and things like that. Even after that, this heart-opening St. Germain work, maybe with the pink opal, is the next step. And so I'm continuing to develop these tools and finding out that they really do benefit me. So we are just about a month away from that event, and I've already started with the pink opal every day, and for my own process. So anyway, check out the links in the description of the video below, and I'm really looking forward to helping you kind of rock the stuck places of your grief open and inspire you to spend time with St. Germain and to release them, to release those energies, resolving and release of grief. You can also see the rest of what I'm up to at tdjacobs.com, and I appreciate your time and energy and support. Take care.